Hey, what's up? It's your boy M-Dub, and it's time to give my 90-day update on my keto life. So, I decided to take May 1st as the start of trying the ketogenic diet. I'm now 90 days in, and I would like to give you guys an update on what happened during my 90 days. So, during the first couple of weeks doing keto, removing carbohydrates from my diet, I was able to take off approximately 18 pounds like in 2 weeks. So this was a good start. Of course, the body was in shock from removing carbohydrates. But again, as days start to pass, I started to add some more complex things in, like trying to remove some things from my diet and also add some things to my diet. This wasn't good for me at all. I decided to look at net carbs, which is the subtraction of fiber from the carbohydrates I was taking in, which allowed me to take in a lot more food. This was not good because I found a nut, pumpkin seeds to be exact, that had 4 grams of carbohydrates but 3 were fiber. So I was subtracting that, thinking I was only taking in 1 gram of carbohydrates. Very big mistake. One of my biggest mistakes in the whole diet. I made quite a few of them. There were some things I needed to remove from my diet, and as I started to learn and get more educated, actually by picking up a keto coach, just listening to her, she kind of watched some of the things that I was doing. I sat down with her, learned a few things, and I took in a lot of informational videos, kind of picked and plucked from each one of them what I decided or thought was right, and tested it on myself. That's the only real way you can find out what it is you need to do. Now, in the beginning of keto, they tell you fat, 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 and I did fat, fat, fat. May 1st, I began to eat pork. I hadn't eaten pork in many years, not on a constant basis, only, you know, during the holidays, 4th of July season, I would have maybe some rib tips here and there, but I implemented pork back into my diet. Now, bacon part of it, bacon and eggs every day, that was fine. I didn't feel bad. But after a while, I started to crave snacks. And I needed something crunchy and salty, and I took to pork rinds, and this was dangerous, to say the least. I began to go to the Mexican stores where they actually fry it right there in the store and put it underneath a heat lamp and have it out. I was obtaining these huge pieces of bacon looking things, but they weren't bacon. They were just like huge, like I'm talking this big, with the fat in the back attached to it. And after I started eating that, I became a little dizzy. That was just too much pork for me, so I needed to reduce the amount of pork, but it was so good. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, it was so good. So I ate it for a while, and you know, I had to pull off of it, ease off of it after some point. So I literally got checked by my daughter, who says, "Dad, you're doing keto, that's fine, but you're intaking too much pork and fat," which the keto diet is a high fat diet, but that doesn't mean you just eat 400 or 500 grams of fat. That just means you eat more fat than you do carbs and protein. And with that being said, I had some up and down roller coasters. So overall, the results of what the keto life did for me was that after the first 2 weeks of losing some weight, I was down to 225 after 60 days, which was approximately, not approximately, it was 12 pounds in a total, because I roller coasted up and down from the original 18. So 60 days into low carb eating, I went on a trip. New Orleans. So anybody ever been to New Orleans or know about New Orleans? A lot of carbs, a lot of alcohol. Hey, I was on vacation for a week. I enjoyed myself. So needless to say, I picked up quite a few pounds during that transition. that visit New Orleans. 30 pounds to be exact. 30 freaking pounds in 7 days. So once I got back, I immediately got back on track. Was able to correct all the behaviors that I had destroyed in New Orleans. I came back from New Orleans 255 pounds. So after 8 days, I was able to take off quite a bit of weight. To be exact, I think it was, I have to go back and check my records, but I'm gonna say somewhere around almost 20 pounds. Now, after the 90 days, I was able to get back down to 225. So that was a total of 30 pounds in the last 20 days of the month to get back off my body. Because, like I said, I went at the beginning of July at 225 and came back the week after the 4th of July, 255. And today is the last day of the month of July, and I'm back down to 225. So that is my update. This one was a bit lengthy. It was for me. If you wanted to listen to it, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you took the time to listen to it, but I just wanted to give my 90-day results for ketosis and how it turned out. So overall, I decided to stick with the diet for now. I've introduced intermittent fasting to the diet, so now I'm doing intermittent fasting with the keto. So only eating once, maybe twice a day, and I seem to be getting the best results from that. So it's kind of a combination of what I'm doing. So be blessed, stay well, figure out what it is works for you, and work it. That's all I got to say.